First of all, we have a domain subject, history as a domain subject, correct? Is it okay? So what we have to study, like, so mostly they are going to ask you class 12th syllabus, okay, class 12th syllabus. So how we will be going with the, how we'll going to about the syllabus, how we are going to cover it. So we'll see the chapters, what are the important points. So we will strictly follow our NCERT. Okay, any confusion in that, anyone wants some other reference or additional books? But for, in my view, it is best to use NCERT. Read it. If you have read NCERT once, you do it twice, thrice, whatever number of times you can read it. Every time if you read the NCERT, you will get a new thing. That's my personal experience. How to get NCERT book? Okay, so it's available everywhere. You might have, you have studied in class 12th. You might be having that book. Yes or no? Don't you have an NCERT book?
Sir,
No.
I don't have because I'm from an ICC school, so NCERT books weren't followed over there.
It's okay. Okay, you can just get it. Like, okay, anything extra is there. We'll see. Look after it. Okay. Uh, in state board also they follow NCERT. There is no, in state boards they use NCERT book, yes or no, or different book?
Yes, sir.
NCERT only. Okay. Anyway, see, more or less they will be having same syllabus. Okay. Anyway, like I'll cover the entire chapter. Then you can go through whatever book you have. If something is extra, you'll get to know. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, Navanika. There is no problem in that. Okay, but like normally there is a trend, like if you are reading NCERT, maybe your UPSC or some anywhere, whatever exam, they follow the NCERT books. They have the best content. Okay, anyway, I'm not saying about like ICSC don't have the best content. They also have best content, but like there should be a standard book which no entire pan India follow that. Yes or no? So that is what I
Yes,
was
sir.
behind saying it. So like if you'll say like 10 students, out of that 8 or 9 student is reading NCERT, only 2 3 students are reading ICSE. Am I right? Is it making sense?
Yes, they prefer NCERT the most.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So when I was in class 12th, I only studied NCERT book from physics, for physics. I scored 92 marks in class 12th only by reading NCERT only. When I was in 10th, I studied only NCERT of social science. I scored 100 out of 100 in class 10th in social science. Okay. So it's a very standard and very good book. I have not studied anything else apart from NCERT. Okay. So in when I was in 10th, I got a merit certificate from CBSE also for scoring 100 in social science. So in those days, there was no like it's a very easy. No, I won't say easy practicals and something. At that particular time, you have to write entire answers for 100 mark. Okay.
सर अब हिस्ट्री की बुक्स में भी कुछ चेंजेस आने वाले हैं.
See that every time the history is changing now and then, like every 2 3 years they are reforming the books. Okay, so see what happens, like there is some propaganda or some agenda every government have with them. Okay, so if you will see like history, most of the historians are from what, from outside India. They're foreigners, so they have written everything in their way. So then the next government came, they interpreted it like that. Then every time, like when Mughal were there, they written history in that way. Yes or no? Then like British came, they changed it. So every time now and then they have just trying to modify so that their own uh, priorities or their own opinions are put into the book so that everyone should know it. So you might have heard about like Bismarck or Mussolini. Have you heard of Bismarck? So what he does in our his time when he was emperor, he used to put a photo in every school, and everyone has to worship his photo. Do you know? Have you heard of it?
Yes, sir.
So those things happened in the past. So the same similarly, if a present government is not satisfied with what is written in the history, they wants to just do some alteration into it. Yes or no? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay? So might be many people will be see like Mahatma Gandhi as a hero. Many people will just portray them as a something else. Okay. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So okay. So first of all, like we'll see the syllabus. Okay, we have to quickly finish up these things. Okay, so like if we had too much of time, we could have just go on through like very interesting way, but we have to cover most of the topics in very less time. So we'll be directly be objective to the syllabus only. Okay, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, so what I was saying, like once we'll cover up the chapter, then we'll do few objective questions. Anyway, they are going to ask you objective questions. So those every points will be written in a the slides I'll be showing on the screen. Most important things will be there. I'll explain you about it, and then I will do few questions, objective question. Mostly, maybe they can ask you question from there. So we'll cover up those questions also. Okay. Is it okay? Anything else you want from me apart from this? What I have told you, like no, no, you should do this and what you should do that way. Anything else? Okay. Once we're done with the class, you can tell me it later after the class. Also, there is no harm in that. Okay. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Are
Yes,
you
sir.
comfortable with the language or with my speed? Should I speak slow or
Yes, sir.
okay? Most many of you are aware of. No, we have met in our previous class also. Okay. Okay, so we'll start with it. So first of all, we'll see like we have three themes in history, three themes. Okay, so we have themes in Indian history part one, part two, and part three. Okay, so in part one we will be covering. Okay, so basically we have to study about see bricks, beads, and bones. So mostly we'll be talking about ancient civilizations, may it be Indus civilization or Harappa, Mohenjo-daro. Those civilizations we have to study about it. Okay, then kings, farmers, and towns. At that particular time, how the economic of the in particular, like I won't be saying it India because there was no concept about India. Okay, so at that particular time, how the economics or the how the farmers and kings were there. So we'll see those structures about it. Okay, and then we'll see kinship, caste, and class. So how like at that particular time the system of the society was there, how the kings were ruling, how the economic system and the those things were arranged. Okay, then we'll talk thinkers, believers, and buildings. Okay, so then we'll talk about many people had said something and they have mobilized the society in different ways. Okay, then we'll talk about it. Okay, so after these things we'll just go to the part two, in which we'll be just talking about through the eyes of travelers. So in India there were many travelers have came to India. They have seen many things, they have wrote many books. Yes or no? Do you know that? In when there was different kings, so people from outside India, I won't say India, like at that particular this area where we are staying right now. Right now it's peninsular India. When we are talking about in ancient history, and if I'm saying in India, you should understand like it's completely India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Balochistan, all those country included in that particular area. Yes. And at
Yes,
like
sir.
after independence in 1947, this India particularly got separated. Yes, yes. Am I making sense to you?
Yes, sir.
That particular area where we are talking about is okay. Some part of Asia also are included in that particular area. So then we will talk about Bhakti Sufi traditions. Okay, so how like many social reformers came, so they have eradicated many traditional orthodox thoughts in our India. Okay, do you believe like there was a sati system? Do you know that?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
There
sir.
is a girl, there is
Yes,
a girl,
sir.
there is a lady, there is a girl. Okay, there is a married woman, and if his husband dies, what she has to do? She has she also have to die with husband. They are getting burnt in the that particular cremation.
Fire.
Yes. So if something is there is in present time, do you believe that how the girls and the women will react? Okay, hell with him. Okay, let him die. I want to leave. I want to do this and that. Okay, is it all possible like nowadays it can be done, those tradition can be followed? Do you really
No,
think
sir.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
so we can understand how the ancient like India was? No, even we are not able to think that way. Okay, is it possible? Like no, no, we are just listening and reading in the books. These are not reality. Okay, these things come into our mind, yes or no? If you will realize, you'll think, okay, is it possible like they have done it? If you'll analyze, then you will be in deep shock. Okay, it's not possible. How women can die alive, they can get burnt alive. Yes, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So many
Yes,
social
sir.
reformer came and they just spoke about it. They sought for it. Okay, this has to be changed. This is not good. This is not good. Women's can read. Women's can do everything. Yes or no? So these all like okay. Then we will talk. Okay, so we'll talk about many social reformers. Then we talk about like Vijayanagar. There was a very imperial capital in particular peninsular India. We'll talk about its arrangement, how it was built, and how everything was there. Okay, so it was a very good example to learn about history and how we are doing accordingly. Okay, so we'll talk about this particular capital. Okay, then we talk about peasants, zamindars, and the state. So at that particular time, there were people called zamindars. They were having too much of land, but some now in nowadays we call people farmers who use to cultivate and get crops. Yes or no? But in history, they were called as peasants. Peasants. Yes or no? So there are few difference like how the zamindars were exploiting those laborers or say it be peasants. So we'll understand about this. Okay. Then it comes like about part three about Indian history. Okay, so here we'll study about colonialism and countryside. So here there were colonies of like British India, French India. Okay, do you know that different people tried to invade India and then finally British made up some way to slave the Indians? Yes, is it okay? Are you
Yes,
getting it? Are you getting it?
Yes,
yes,
sir.
sir. Got it.
Then there are rebels and the Raj. Like then this happened like the British came and then there were some rebel. The people started. Yes or no? Agitation started. They started like
1857.
sorry. Someone is saying something.
1857.
Exactly, 1857. Like it was 1857. Okay, that Rani Lakshmi Bai and many other rebels they started talking, shouting or agitating against the that particular ruling India. Okay, the British. Then came Mahatma Gandhi and the nationalist movement. So the different movements started. Okay, like Bharat Chodo, Quit India, Crips, many Simons and all those movements started. Okay, then we'll talk about like framing of the constitution, and then like if you'll see the British, most of the constitution what we are following right now, it has been made in 1935. Do you know that? Most of you have studied properly like for political science, you might be knowing it. Do you know that? So most of the rules which were made in 1935, presently the British have made some those IPC, Indian Penal Code. Those rules are still followed in Indian Constitution, which was made in 1935 by the Britishers. Yes. So we'll be just talking about the framing of the constitution, how it was framed, what are the people involved in, and what are the things just taken care in here. Okay. Then you will see if after going through this much all, then framing the constitution, and then you will read about the political science where the how the constitution was framed, and then we'll talk about lower house, upper house, and how all those things just came into the picture. Yes. Then at present times we are talking about our economic system and all how like we are exporting importing, so those economics things were in history also, like say, farmers were using different crops. Yes or no? And then if they were like a good production of crops, then the economy of the that particular area was growing up. Okay, so this is the entire syllabus we have to just study. We have to cover up in very 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 quick time. Okay, so any confusion here, any questions from you?
No, sir.